Well, I'm going to tell you, it might be a little hard for me to get any video working on this because Dad's like a little kid in a candy store, and might have to go back to the come along. We moved it about halfway with a come along yesterday. But Dad's like a little kid in a candy store, and I'm off doing my own thing, and next thing I know I look up and he's up here working on this thing. So I'll get what I can, but here so it doesn't smash my hand on that track when it comes taut. It tries. Oh. Here. It moved about a length. Okay, did a rehook on the anchor chain. Oh, I'll be damned. Okay, we moved on to the other side. This one we hadn't broke with a come along yet, so this is our second pull on it. We moved it about half a track. We need a little more tractor. $16 would probably do it if we could had the tow bar on it and I could draft a little bit off the 3-point, but why go through all that when you got 125 horse 4-wheel drive sitting right here? I know, 150, that's on the flywheel, 125 on the drawbar. That's the horsepower that counts. Probably stay going. The 1600 moved it just enough to get it on. Both tracks have 2 stuck links. Well, 2 links that are stucker than the rest. done messing with it for today. We ran out of slickum, so I got to mix up another batch of that and soak it again. And the new plan is to put the spreader bar back in the 1955 and bolt back to the drawbar to avoid the chaining, unchaining, driving around, all that crap. That way you can just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And once you find a loose spot in the tracks, you can go a little further, go a little further, start working it. But we're leaps and bounds ahead of where they started out when we first drug it home, because they wouldn't even move. So with any luck at all, and Dad's got all the parts around to build the track press if it comes to that, and then we can just tear the tracks apart. But hopefully we can avoid it coming to that. So, but we'll probably mess with a little bit more tomorrow night, so I guess we'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Okay, and we're back. I got it barred onto the 1955 now, so the back and forth will be easier. When in doubt, get a bigger tractor. I could pull it, I just couldn't push it. Which is kind of counterproductive, because once you find a loose spot, you gotta be able to push it. So many things. She's a pain in the rear, but she's nice to have around. Well, it's going pretty good. I got it to where I could only, from, you know, I was only moving it basically whatever the length of the track frame is. I got it from going that far to from there all the way down to the tractor just starting to go over the hill. So I think the next thing to do from here is when Dad gets done eating dinner, now that I got them rolling, and it works, they work a lot better pulling backwards, probably because it's more natural for the track going that way. Since it's not actually driving off the sprocket, it probably climbs the sprocket better going backwards because of your tension's off the top. I'm half tempted. I don't know if the I bet probably screw some of the grass up a little bit, but I bet the berm's wide enough if I move the 525 so I can just start running laps. But when Dad gets done eating dinner, we can mix up more, because the tracks are getting kind of dry now, but mix up more WD-40 and ATF and have him spray it while I'm pulling it so that it can work in. But we're definitely making strides. It'd be easier if it ran so it could help, but we're definitely getting there. Somebody's got to sit in my lap. Anyhow, they're moving good enough now. I was able to jump up to second gear to rattle them around a little better. They're not coming up over the top in great big humps anymore, so basically just running a lap, and when I get back on the driveway, Dad starts spraying them again. So far so good. All right, well, I think we're gonna call that a victory for this one. We decided, I made, shoot, 10, 12 laps around the barn. There's not too many kinks left in the tracks. They're obviously still pretty stiff because it's gonna take a whole lot more than that, but ran it around to the point where the pins and bushings were actually hot to the like hot to the touch. So once they got to that point, decided to quit. We re-soaked the tracks and just left it here parked, hooked up, and probably tomorrow, time permitting, because I got some stuff I got to do tomorrow, we'll run her for a few more laps and soak it again. And it's just going to take time, but with any luck at all, we won't have to disassemble the tracks. That'll be ideal. They've come a long damn way. They're not skidding and popping or anything at all anymore. They just kind of clunky clunk, and there's not any screeching really or anything like that. So it'll just take some time, but they should be loose enough that, I mean, if and when the thing gets running, it should have enough ass to at least move itself. But we did, that's why Dad had his truck up here, we just tapped some jumper cables on the starter to see if we could bump it over. And because we threw it into gear real quick and I just kind of tugged it a little, not enough to hurt anything, but I just kind of jerked it and nothing moved. And Dad said he was hearing a clunk, so we think that the Bendix on the starter is actually engaged, since it's not a solenoid style starter. Can't talk. So there's a good possibility we're not only fighting the starter, but obviously the engine's probably lightly stuck. But like I say, we've already been pulled all the plugs, looked in there with a bore scope. The bores in this thing are immaculate, with fresh cross hatching in it. So somebody's been in the motor, and it doesn't have a whole lot of hours since. It does appear, from what we could tell, it might still have the original pistons in it, just judging by the way the pistons look compared to everything else. So it looks like they might have honed it and re-ringed it, possibly. But either way, somebody's been in the engine. So, but like I say, the inside of the cylinders are spotless. So if it is stuck, it's probably just like stuck on the rings or something. So next step's going to be to get the starter off, and so we can eliminate making sure we're not climbing the Bendix, and then possibly yank on it again. But what we want to do is, and this part probably won't happen until after we get wheat cut sometime next week or whatever, but get stuff shuffled around. There's probably gonna have to be a couple tractors. I'm probably gonna end up leaving the duals off of this for now, taking it back to my house the way it is, what takes up less room in the barn, and then possibly the 1955, and if need be the 1800. We'll all go over to my house and go in my barn for now, so that we can get the 1 ton over on that side of the barn where those two normally sit, and then this can go in there with where the 1 ton's sitting in Dad's grain truck. That way we can tear into it and not have to worry about moving it, because we need to get the hood off, get the valve cover off, check and make sure get a screwdriver, pry on the valves, make sure the valves aren't stuck, because we don't want to bend a push rod or rocker arm or anything. Make sure the valves aren't stuck, get the starter off of it, see if we can get the motor barred over. But like I say, we have a really hard time believing the engine is stuck. It's probably just lightly stuck, and it is soaking right now with ATF and diesel fuel, so, which I didn't actually look. I'm curious to see if any of it is soaked past the rings and is in the oil pan now, because there was, some of it's got past the rings because the oil wasn't that far up on the dipstick before. So something has gotten into there. So hopefully that's a good sign. So anyhow, I think we're going to go ahead and call this one here. Damn. Nice old Bronco. Anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna call this one here, and we'll see where the next one takes us. But before we get to that point, we will hopefully be cutting wheat, because the wind's been up, the humidity's been dropping like a rock today. It's not supposed to be humid for the next few days, so things are gonna dry down real nice. So hopefully Friday afternoon, or for sure hopefully Saturday, we can get wheat cut, and hopefully get wheat cut, straw baled, and the whole 9 yards before our next shot of rain next week. So right now we're good through Monday, so fingers crossed. But anyway, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.